unequivocally won the championship. Ferguson, can you blame the man for going out of his line temporarily?
Not long now until the boys are back in action at Pittodrie tomorrow night in a friendly against Ipswich Town. My thanks to Glenn Cairns for providing me with that beautiful video, which you will see soon as part of a brand new set of titles. If you are going to the game tomorrow, that is what the front cover of the programme looks like. As always, superbly designed by Dolly Digital, and it is in remembrance of the Scottish Cup final. It's a bumper edition, and I suggest you get your hands on one of those. If you can't, you can always order it if you live abroad. Superbly edited, as always, by Malcolm Panton. What do you think of the new graphic style? Did you like that? Let me know what you think. You're going to see tonight some subtle changes throughout the programme, which we're going to introduce throughout the coming season. And this, oh, look, a little bit of rent-tinted light. You like that? Not bad, eh? Little changes, which have all come thanks to you guys for signing up to the monthly membership, or very kindly donating to Alibeg ABTV by just clicking on the little dollar sign at the bottom of the live chat and contributing what you can. Everything that you have contributed by either donating or signing up to the monthly subs has all gone back into this channel. New mic, new lights. There's a new light in front of me. It's not making any difference, but it's new. And you'll see all the new graphics as we go ahead as well. Thank you. Hey, how you doing? You all right? Welcome to the show. This, where are we? Thursday night. So 24 hours ahead of the, I know, it's quite an interesting game against Ipswich. It'll be a good test. We played Fulham last weekend in a closed door friendly, got beat 4-1. I wouldn't look too much into that. Tonight, a little bit of a bumper show for you because there's been a few bits of pieces coming out of the football club, which I personally have found really interesting. This strategic partnership with Kelty Hearts and Elgin City. To allow players to sort of go out on loan and gain valuable experience playing in lower league football. So a little bit later, we're going to be speaking to Elgin City General Manager Martin Johnston about how it's all going to work. 3 of our young lads have gone on loan. Left back Dylan Ross and central defenders Jamie Mercer and Noah McDonnell have gone on loan. And Martin is going to explain to you how that process works. How long have they gone for? Will they train there full time? Will they train still with Aberdeen? How will they get assessed? Etc. etc. In just a moment, I'm going to be catching up with Evening Express and Press and Journal editor Craig Walker. If you've been in the city today, did you pick up your souvenir copy of our Scottish Cup final victory? If you haven't, I'm going to put on my social media channels, probably first thing in the morning, links to how you can order this very special souvenir. Craig and I spoke about how they put it all together. And a couple of folk have got in touch with me and said it's absolutely brilliant. And it is an absolute keepsake to remind ourselves of what was still a marvellous victory in the Scottish Cup final. What is it, 2 months ago now? Still can't believe it. Can you? Still can't believe it. So tonight, I want you to get in touch. Tell me your thoughts about what's going on at the football club. Vinny Bissowin, gone on loan to Helsinki. Look, good luck to the lad. No problem with that. I'm just a bit baffled to why it's a loan, if I'm being honest. I don't think he's in the manager's plans. So why not offload him? But good luck to the boy, because there is most definitely a player there. The return of Alfie Dorrington, again, on a season-long loan from Tottenham. For me personally, a fantastic piece of business, and I'm delighted to see the boy back. It's what we need. We need strength and depth to be able to cope with the demands of what will hopefully be Europa League group stage, if not Conference League group stage, and then obviously domestic football as well. So Thursday, Sunday. We saw what happened a couple of seasons ago. Didn't quite work for us, did it? Whereas this time around, I'm hoping with a stronger depth, we can cope with it. And I think having Alfie there alongside our regular central defenders and Jack Milne as well, could really help us massively. So tell us what you think. Lots of whispers about Shaden Morris, a potential move to Luton Town. From what I understand, they've offered him an excellent personal deal. Let me put it that way. So again, it's newspaper talk. It's just whispers. Take it as you wish. 600 grand. Really? $1 million minimum. Hello? So yeah, let's see what happens there with that one as well. So if you want to discuss it, get involved via the live chat. Don't forget, Ali Beg AB TV is a safe haven for you guys to come and have your say. We don't tolerate any bad language, we don't tolerate any abuse, and we certainly don't tolerate any disrespect amongst fans when on the live chat. If you do engage in such nonsense, you will be blocked and you will be gotten rid of immediately. This place is a safe haven, so please, if you can, keep it respectful. So what we'll do is we'll begin by talking to Craig Walker, editor of the Press and Journal and Evening Express, about this brilliant souvenir. So if you've not seen it, let me show it to you. So there it is. That's the front cover, and it's available now. I'm going to put all the links out for you on my social media channels in the morning. So if you haven't been able to pick up a copy, I'll do that for you so you can get it direct. So that's what the front cover looks like. It's an absolutely magnificent souvenir for everybody to keep, to remind us of what was an unbelievable victory. So welcome to Ali Beg AB TV, Craig Walker. Morning, Craig. It's great to see you. Thank you so much for jumping on, because I know it's a really busy time for you pre-season. First and foremost, how long did it take you guys to put the souvenir together?
So I think first and foremost, the souvenir probably started in its infancy from that day, that Saturday, when it all began. You know, the day that, as a lifelong Dons fan myself, I was definitely one of the sceptics in terms of how we could, what we would achieve on that day. And, you know, unbelievable win, and what followed the day after in the Aberdeen city centre. You know, everybody just rallied around the club, and it was fantastic to see the Aberdeen just so busy that day. I was there with my eldest daughter, who had to come, and that was her first experience of a parade, and hopefully she doesn't have to wait as long as I had to for in between my ones. So, but yeah, it was that weekend where we captured so much fantastic content. You know, our photographers were at the game, were at the parade, and we couldn't use all of it. You know, there was so many fantastic images to capture there. On top of that, the sports team did so well with their interviews, you know, pre-post, and thereafter as well. Some really, really good, interesting features from, you know, the manager, from the chairman, from the players. And thereafter, you know, we just could see it captured the imagination of the city, not just what you would say the traditional fans going to Pittodrie, but the entire city in the northeast. And we thought, you know, this is 35 years in waiting. You know, there's something we need to do here to mark it, and that's where the souvenir came from, and that idea. And you know, from thereafter, it was a big production job. You know, we had very talented designers on our production team who you know, spent a number of days pulling everything together. You know, and this is the finished product. You know, the fantastic design work from Clark Cooper in our team, and many others who worked there.
I'm kind of guessing this must have been a bit of a labour of love for you and your team.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I think our role at the Press and Journal Evening Express is to, you know, celebrate success, but it's also to build up that anticipation. And despite what I said about, you know, my own concerns as an Aberdeen fan, we still knew that was our role, and that's what we tried to do. You know, from the absolute pre-match coverage, speaking to players from 1990, the last time we won the Scottish Cup, and, you know, and trying to build up through that, but also from our conversations with, you know, helicopter providers. How could you get to Hampden in a quirky way, or how could you, you know, for example, the Horn on the A90 was doubling its bacon intake on that day. So it was more of an event, I guess, rather than just a football match, because, you know, 20,000 plus Dons fans descending on Hampden doesn't happen every day. You know, we'd travel in our numbers, but it was fantastic to see. And yeah, it was, you know, we, as I say, that what we hadn't planned for to a certain extent was the win. We planned everything pre that, and you know, we had a live blog on our website, which is a slightly different approach from usual, and that was feeding in the Aberdeen fans leaving the northeast, arriving in Glasgow, and everything that went on in between, and that saw really strong engagement, you know, across our digital channels, and as I say, thereafter we we then had to swing into unplanned action for the Sunday, which was the parade. And again, we had another blog. We had live streams of the parade, and yeah, it was just really great to see so strong engagement. Our newspaper sales on the Monday were up massively from the week before, as everybody just wanted to relive that moment. And it was we're, as I say, we're here to celebrate success and promote our club, and that's what we try to do every day.
Getting the emotions during the interviews of all the people that you spoke to for the Souvenir, I guess the emotions really must have come through in what they were saying to you.
Yeah, and you could see that from Jimmy Teelan talking about his family, watching at home, not being able to make it.
Yeah.
And Nicky Devlin, whose mum was away when he'd hoped that his family could have been there, his biggest moment. And I think it's quite unusual, for football players to talk at that kind of level of detail of their friends and family. It's generally quite clinical in terms of the game and how they're feeling about things and whatnot. But they really opened up. It was a massive occasion for them, a huge achievement, and they were delighted to kind of go into that level of detail. And you could see how important it was to them as well as the fans, which is understandable.
Craig, many congratulations to you and your team. It was fantastic coverage over the entire weekend and then subsequently as well. So many congratulations, and enjoy the new season, and hopefully we'll be able to catch up again soon.
Perfect. Thanks, Ali.
Thank you, mate. Bye-bye. My thanks to Craig Walker. So I'll give you a little bit more information about where to get it in just a moment. In the meantime, let me gently remind you that Ali Beg AB TV is supported by and sponsored by Saltire Energy. And they're now with me for a number of years, and I'm absolutely delighted that they recently renewed their sponsorship deal with me here on Ali Beg AB TV. So my thanks to Mike Logie and to Craig Cameron for their continued support. They lead the industry in drilling equipment rental. If you want to find out more, just have a look at their website. So the Souvenir, it is available in 500 outlets throughout the region, in Co-op, in Tesco's, which is absolutely fantastic. And also Craig was telling me that one outlet in Buchan has taken 20 pre-order sales, which is fantastic as well. So as I mentioned, look out tomorrow for a link on my social media to be able to buy it direct. So, Martin Johnston, General Manager of Elgin City, League 2, Elgin City, who are making great roads in the SPFL. Fantastic club, superbly run, fantastic facilities. As you know, we played them in the Cup last year. So Aberdeen recently entered into a strategic partnership with them, and also Celtic Hearts as well, where 3 of our young academy lads have gone to Elgin basically on loan to get valuable experience playing at that level. And Martin and I spoke earlier today about how the whole process works. So I really hope you find this interview really interesting. It's roughly about 8 minutes long. And then what we'll do is I'll get you guys on at the end of the interview. So let me welcome back again to Ali Beg ABT for the first time in a wee while, Elgin City General Manager Martin Johnston. Hi Martin, it's great to see you. Thank you as always for jumping on. Are you keeping fine?
I'm well, Ali. Thanks. Yourself?
Yep, doing just great. Thank you. Looking forward to the new season. So let's jump straight into it. Let's talk about this strategic partnership. Can I ask, who approached who?
Oh, good question. I think it would be fair to say that Elgin City were very enthusiastic to strike up a relationship with a Premier club, and given that Aberdeen are our nearest Premier club this season, I don't think it takes a lot of detective work to work out that there was a hope there that something could be done. Given that we acknowledge the fact that we are in the sort of the lower reaches of the SPFL, we were fairly confident that there would be a League One club or a Championship club, but probably a League One club that would get the first pick. But we certainly wanted to make it known that we thought we would be a good choice for a League Two club should they go down that route. Conscious also that obviously there are a number of prominent Highland League clubs that might have made a good argument. But there is a massive gulf between Highland League and the SPFL. So, League Two is arguably a fantastic platform for any young player to develop. They're at an age where they're breaking into manhood and playing effectively men's football.
Yeah. What was the agreement in place, taking into consideration if the three lads were going to train with you full time, or do they go back to Aberdeen? Do they train with Aberdeen and just come and train with you now and then? How does that work?
They train with Aberdeen full time.
Okay.
With the exception, we train twice a week, so they train with us then.
Okay.
It's a tried and tested system. It's not unique to Elgin City. To be fair, it's been the method for a long time with clubs who have players on a loan system. Obviously, full-time clubs, that's a slightly different scenario. But as far as Elgin City are concerned, no, they only train with us twice a week.
Okay, and are they with you for the full season?
So the plan is to hopefully have them for the full season, but there is an option for that to change in the new year window. Obviously, the guys get the opportunity to go back and play for Aberdeen at any time, which is the great advantage of this particular system. So yeah, hopefully that they earn themselves a regular place at Elgin City, and we do have them for the year. But notwithstanding that, the system allows maybe a player to go back and another player to come back out in their place. So it's as long as we work within our quotas, it should work well.
Okay. Just out of interest, who actually assesses them and their progress? Because I guess, Martin, that they're not going to be guaranteed to play first team football. And obviously that will be down to the manager whether he thinks that they're fit enough to play for them. So obviously they won't be guaranteed first team football. So how does the assessment side of things work?
Okay, well, you're right, Ollie. I mean, even the first team players aren't guaranteed a starting place.
Sure.
Like most every other club. So the guys are monitored by the first team manager here, obviously. All our games are uploaded to the Y Scout system.
Yeah.
And footage is sent to the Aberdeen under-18 coach. Soon after the game as possible. So it's a case of they're monitored not just by us, but by their parent club as well. And it's not just a case of monitoring them as their performances on the field. It's their attitude toward training and the whole package, as it were.
Yeah.
So because they're an age where they're developing their personal skills as well, and developing as young men in any work environment. You've got a fairly eclectic mix of people. So want to make sure that the guys are obviously well looked after, but at the same time they get opportunity to develop as individuals.
Sure. Final question for you, Martin. What do you think this strategic partnership says of Elgin City's standing in the sort of the lower leagues of the SPFL?
Well, you have to appreciate that there would have been numerous clubs I would have thought would have liked to have had a relationship such as this with Aberdeen, and that at the end of the day, there is nothing preventing Aberdeen loaning other players out to other clubs in our league. Out with the cooperation system. But I think what it tells you is that, and possibly because Aberdeen were here obviously in Scottish Cup duty last year, they've had an opportunity to see for themselves the setup at Boroughbriggs. Elgin is a big catchment area, and as huge potential here as a club, both on and off the park. So at the end of the day, like any employer, you wouldn't be wanting to put your staff somewhere where you thought there was a possibility that they may not fit in, develop, be made welcome, all the sort of attributes that you'd expect any youngster to experience going out on loan. And I think this could be the beginning of something pretty good going forward. I've said before there was friendships made at the time of the Cup. But I think it goes beyond that. And there has been, over the years, maybe the course of traffic has been the other way in respect that, Elgin City have benefited from players who might not have necessarily quite made the grade at Aberdeen over the years, as do lots of clubs. I mean, I think Peterhead and Cove have all benefited from that in the past.
Yeah.
But the cooperation agreement basically formalises that, and there's always been the issue in the past that to make the books balanced, there's been contribution towards, which is the fact that we don't have to do that with this system. It's a massive benefit to the club because it lets us and look elsewhere, so we can it helps the manager's budget to a certain degree.
Yeah.
So it's a trial, but I'm pretty confident that we'll see. It'll be very interesting to see further down the line how many players come through this system, and hopefully set them on the track to represent and pull on a blue shirt for Scotland.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll be able to say we've done our bit.
Yeah, well, I certainly hope it bears fruit for all parties. Martin, thank you so much for coming on. The very best of luck to the season, and take good care of yourself.
Thanks, Ali.
Cheers, mate. I'll speak to you soon.
Ta-da.
Ta-da. Thank you, Martin. It's always great to have him on the show. Let me gently remind you that ABTV is also sponsored by Craig International, a globally recognised company with offices all over the world, from the US to Canada, the Middle East to the Far East, Australia and closer to home. Now, I suggest you take a close look at eBuy, their digital platform which gives you direct access to Craig International's procurement teams and clients, making it straightforward for you to discover and win more business. If you're interested, get in touch with me, and then what I'll do is I will put you in touch with them. Right, let's get you guys on and see how you're doing. I really hope you found that interview interesting with Martin. Okay, Cameron Young first came on and said he's heading through to the Ipswich match tomorrow, but heading into hospital for surgery next Wednesday. Hopefully we can sign a striker and a few more players next week. Come on your heads. Cameron, all the very best for next week, mate. I hope it goes okay for you. Gordon Keith Ritchie says, good evening all. Not long to the start of the season. We need a striker and we need to balance Thursday and Sunday games in Yumi Tulane, we trust. Stay humble. David Horn is on, wishing everybody a good evening, as is Glenn Cairns. How are we doing, Glenn? I hope he's well. I'm sure you saw his video, the brilliant Northern Lights drone that he took of Pittodrie, where Glenn has very kindly given me permission to use that as a wider new set of titles, which we'll be bringing to you very soon here on Ali Beg ABTV. So once again, many thanks, Glenn. He's saying hello to everybody. Sheep on Fire has says, evening guys, roll on the start of the season, but do feel that we need a striker. Ryan Ellington says, good evening Ali and fellow dandies, hopefully a good win for the Dons against Ipswich Town. Paul Donaldson has said hi, start of the new season not too far away now, just a shame that so many Aberdeen fans who would want to be at their first game are unable to get a ticket. Yeah, I have to admit, what was it, 600 that they put on offer for us? For the Hearts game, I'm really not getting this at all. What are we doing? Why are we strangling the game? Why are clubs taking that stance? All you're doing is strangling the game. Where the game now, particularly after what happened in the Scottish Cup final, should be celebrated more. And it should be showcased more. Because you never know. This could be a swing after what we did in the Scottish Cup final. I may be being completely ambitious here and speaking out of turn, but why are we strangling our game by doing that to away fans? I cannot understand that for the life of me. I really can't. Kirstein's here. How are we doing, Kirstein? She's wishing everybody a good evening, as is David Gold Rally Vids. Kirstein's looking forward to the game tomorrow night. John Grant's here, wishing you all a good evening. Last season, it was very difficult to pick the team. This season, it's even harder. So, I'm glad you mentioned that, John, because earlier today, when I was putting the show together, I toyed with trying to put together a predicted lineup for tomorrow's game. I don't have a Scooby-Doo. So what I thought I would do is wait till I see the team tomorrow night and then get a bit more of an understanding ahead of the season opener against Hearts in a couple of weeks. Mikey at BFit Aberdeen. Evening all. Hi, Mikey. Neil Sinclair is also on. Hi, Neil. Lee Taylor says, hi, Ali, hoping for a good season. Anyone else missing the football? I know I have. Oh, mate, you've got no idea. Hugh Burns is here. He's wishing everyone a good evening. Neil Sinclair says, feeling really good about what's happening at the club at the moment. Hugh Burns has said, anyone else concerned that we're going into the Hearts game undercooked? Yeah, Ryan Ellington is asking, it would be good to know what's happening with Shadon and his future. Well, we've just got to wait and see what happens, really. You know, if they come in with an improved offer. Hugh Clark is saying, good evening, sheep. Kirsten came back to say, very happy to see Alfie back. Think he's a great player. I agree. Neil Sinclair says, I hope Shadon doesn't go. John Herms is here. Hi, John. He says, fit like folks, looking forward to a new successful season. Ryan says that he hopes to see Shadon stay with Aberdeen. David Gold said that he was doing the tour of Pittodrie last weekend when the news came out about Alfie returning and the group were delighted. West Coast Dawn is here. He's wishing everybody a good evening. Alexander Wallace says, welcome back, Dandies. Looking forward to an exciting season, hopefully singing our European song. David Methvin says, if Morris goes, do we now need to bring in 2 more wingers? As for strikers, should we put in an offer for Hale of Ross County? Scored 18 goals last season for a team that was obviously quite poor. Paul Hannon says, looking forward to Ipswich Town tomorrow. Will be good to see the new boys play. Looking forward to another rollercoaster ride of a season. Come on, you Reds. David McLennan, like so many of you, are asking about Uday Debag possibly coming back. Are you for it or are you against it? It seems to be the common denominator at the moment from most of you, talking about that we desperately need another striker in. Some of you are absolutely for Uday to come back. Some of you not so much. Sorry, bear with me. So, off the back of Martin's interview, Sue says, it sounds like a great partnership. John Hermsey says he lives in Elgin, he's delighted. Hugh Byrne says, putting the lads out on loan and playing against Manny's is absolutely the right way to go. 18-year-olds playing versus other 18-year-olds was and is a total waste of time. To be honest with you, Hugh, I completely agree with that. I have absolutely no issues with that whatsoever. If you go back, if you talk to any of, like, say, the Gothenburg generation, any of that generation that came through the 80s, 70s, 80s, they all talk about how they went on loan to Highland League clubs or to junior clubs where they played man's football and got kicked about all over the shop, and it made them grow up, not just as people, but as football players as well. I'm absolutely all for that as well. Couldn't agree more. Adam Binney says, I can't believe it's almost the new season. I know, can't believe it myself. I'm so looking forward to seeing the game tomorrow. So it's live on Red TV for international subscribers, and there's a pay-per-view option as well for the rest of you. I think it's a £5. I think I saw some. I might have got that completely wrong, so don't take it for gospel. But it's definitely available versus pay-per-view. Hewitt Super Sub said, was there not rumours that we were looking at David Turnbull from Cardiff City? I must admit, I've not seen that one, fella. Yeah, honestly, I can't wait for the start of the season, the new season. Talking of which, do you like this? Tell me what you think. This is my new graphic that I'm going to start promoting games. So I've sort of come up with this idea. Tell me, do you like it? Let me know what you think. Does this work for you? And if you saw it earlier, this is the other idea that we're looking at as well. So on this day, on the 24th of July, 1958, Aberdeen legend Jim Leighton was born. In 2 spells with the club, Jim played 533 games, winning 10 major honours. He's also Scotland's most capped goalkeeper with 91 caps. And on this day in 2014, against all the odds, Aberdeen beat FC Groningen 2-1 in the Netherlands to progress to the 3rd round of the Europa League qualifiers. It was the first time in our history that the Dons had won on Dutch soil. Let me also remind you that Alibeg ABTV is sponsored and supported by Quipco International, who service the oil and gas industry. They have a purpose-built repair facility. Customer-supplied drill pipe and tubulars can be fully cleaned, inspected, repaired, and available for you. Their facilities include so much: CNC machining, downhole equipment manufacture and refurbishment, fishing tools, and through tubing mills as well. If you want to get in touch, if they can help you, and I would highly recommend their services, there are all the details. And again, if you need my help, get in touch with me and then I will put you in touch with them direct. So tell me, do you like the new graphics? I'm really interested to know. Oh, easy. Do you like the new shade of red? And talking about FC Groningen, because our European games are so close, coming close up, I wrote about that in my European Nights book. A little shameless plug for the book at this point in the juncture. So what I found really interesting about that is what at the end I spoke to Tony Docherty about that game, who gave me a fantastic interview about the mindset going into it, because in the first leg at Pittodrie, they absolutely fancied themselves in the second leg. They basically said that was it, game was over. There was no way Aberdeen could now beat them on home turf. And we did. And we actually beat them quite fairly comfortably. It was 2-1 at half time, wasn't it? Jamie Linefield that night was absolutely sensational. Niall McGinn and Adam Rooney with the goals. And at the end, when Derek McInnes went to shake the manager's hand, Tony Docherty told me what Derek said to the manager. If you want to know, you got to buy the book. So with our Europa League qualifiers coming up, and obviously we played Ipswich as well. There's a wee thing about Ipswich in the book as well. Just, come on. There's a few left. That's all I'm saying. There's a few left. Right, let's get back to some of your comments. Oh man, there's so many of you on. It's great. I'm delighted that you're liking the graphics. A lot of you are saying that you really like the graphics. Cool. That's all down to you guys. So thank you. You know, all your contributions. And I told you that's what we were going to be doing. Everything that is made financially on this channel gets pumped back into it. Oh, I'm so happy you like it. Neil Sinclair says, I like the new microphone changing from red to blue. You see, it's not blue. It's turquoise. It's turquoise. Look. Turquoise. It's not blue. And I did actually try and play around with it to see if I could get it from red to white, but I can't. So I've just got to go with what it is. But I do like when it comes up red. Oh, hey, timing. It's all about timing. Yeah, Steve Brocky makes a great point. He said that he got really excited on Sunday when he saw that a private jet came from Girona to Aberdeen on a flight tracker app. No such luck, though. There's a guy a Macedonian journalist whose name completely escaped me. I think it's Mishoff or something like that. Forgive me if you know what his name is. I've forgotten it. And he's apparently he's a good pal of Bojan Majovski's, and he's tweeted a couple of times that it's got nothing to do with Bojan coming back to Aberdeen. It was something completely different. David McLennan says, are you still doing post-match analysis this season? Oh, by golly, yes, we are, David. Don't worry about that. I'm looking to spruce up a wee bit as well. Yes, David Gold, you're quite right. It's also Willie Garner's birthday today, our executive director. Willie is 70 today, so many happy returns to Willie Garner. Rod Cow says, I heard a rumour that the club are looking at the current top scorer in Finland's league. Paul Donaldson, nice little bit of gossip here, said that he spoke to Shayden Morris and mentioned the reports, but understandably he was very tight-lipped and was saying he would see what happens. Nice. This is what most of you are basically saying tonight, that everyone is saying, that we desperately need a new striker. That's what we want. It's not blue. It's turquoise. Look. Turquoise. Kevin Tom says, 2025 Scottish Cup winners, come on you Reds. Let's start the season like last season, but keep it like that. And let's get challenging for the league. Oh, wouldn't that be good? Right, guys, I'm going to just do one last thing because we are only 9 followers from reaching another significant milestone here on Alibeg ABTV. We're only 9 away from reaching 4,500 subscribers. So if you like what you see and you haven't already subscribed, it doesn't cost you anything. It's completely and utterly free. It just means that you're following on Facebook and X and Instagram and all that sort of stuff. You do have to have a YouTube account to be able to sign up. But I'd be absolutely thrilled if you would please consider subscribing so that we can continue to build momentum here on Alibeg ABTV ahead of the new season. So, also, just very quickly, thank you to all of you who tuned into the Dave Cormack interview that I put out last week. It's had nearly 4,500 views. I'm absolutely thrilled with it. I've had a lot of very positive feedback from that interview as well. So the thought going forward is to try and do more with backroom staff at Aberdeen Football Club, decision makers at Aberdeen Football Club. So that will be a work in progress throughout the season. Right, so what I'm thinking about doing is potentially a sort of a review show after the Ipswich game. I'm not sure when I'm going to be able to do it because I've got my kids this weekend. So keep an eye on my socials, but I'll try and do it early next week. And we'll do a sort of a review catch-up show to find out what's going on at the football club, because obviously there's still a lot of talk about transfers and all that sort of stuff. So we'll try and come back next week to do a show. And then it's really not long to the start of the season, is it? Oh man, I can't wait. Right, guys. Have a truly wonderful weekend. Enjoy the game tomorrow if you're going to Pittodrie. Don't forget, it's on pay-per-view on Red TV, and it's free to Red TV International subscribers, as always. Thank you so much for commenting. Thank you for coming on. I'm delighted that you like the new style, and I'll see you again very soon. Take care. Stand free.